Dr. Noreen Khalid, Manager of MPOB-UKM Endowment Chair, to give her opening remarks. Welcome, Doctor.
Thank you to our wonderful MC for such a warm welcome. It's absolutely pleasure to be here. Assalamualaikum and very good morning. I'm pleased to welcome and greetings to Associate Professor Dr. Muhammad Hakibi Muhammad Syafi'i, Deputy Dean, Partnership and Alumni, Faculty of Economics and Management, Professor Dr. Hung Hao Chang, Visiting Professor, MPOB-UKM Endowment Chair from National Taiwan University, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me a great pleasure to welcome our distinguished speaker, Professor Dr. Hung Hao Chang, MPOB-UKM Visiting Professor for the virtual lecture, which covers the topic of how to use big data in agriculture policy. As it currently stands, new technologies and digitalization are transforming agriculture and offering new opportunities to improve policy. As a human, we consume crops on a daily basis for survival. And the United Nations has made an estimation on the population of humans, which will reach 9.8 billion by 2050. And this huge increase in population means that we need to step up our crop production significantly to cater the massive growth of number of people. And to counter the issues of increasing demand for food and climate change that has affecting the yield of crop produced, the policymakers and industry leaders are seeking the assistance of technology force, such as Internet of Things, big data analytics, and also cloud computing. And in the case of smart farms, for instance, sensors are plugged into various places to collect a variety of data from all possible variables available. In other words, modern farming will be relying on the Internet of Things of device for the data collection, on which it will integrate the large amount of data collected from the farm with the other information available on the cloud. For example, the weather data, the pricing data, and data from the farm will be analyzed to determine the patterns. And from this data, pattern and insight can be identified to pinpoint any existing issue to the crop yield, to any other issue that might occur, such as soil issue or management and operational issues. This technological advance can support the goal of achieving more resilient, productive and sustainable agriculture and food system which better meet consumer needs. Big data technologies play an essential role in making the impossible possible. So the wide variety of the data are unified using big data technology, where large or complex data are integrated to transform the data into value. As the usage of big data technologies in the agriculture sector is relatively new, there are certain gray areas could be discussed further in terms of the usage of big data within our agriculture policy, especially to the palm oil industry. As such, understanding and knowing how this big data technology will help to formulate a predictive algorithm that can alert even before the problem occurs. Hence, the choice of MPOB-UKM Endowment Chair for the distinguished speaker to deliver on the topic of how to use big data in agriculture policy, which can be implemented for the palm oil industry today, manifests recognition to the MPOB-UKM Endowment Chair as a research center that specializes in research on economics, socio-economics discipline for the palm oil industry. And it is an honor to have our eminent speaker to share his expertise and knowledge on the topic that is of interest to many at the present time. Please allow me to introduce our speakers for today's lecture. Professor Hung Hao Chang received his PhD in Applied Economics and Management from Cornell University in 2006. In the same year, he joined the Department of Agriculture Economics at National University Taiwan as assistant professor and had been promoted as full professor in 2014. His research interests focus on the evaluation of agriculture and public policy from household economics, food consumption, and economic analysis of competition law, with special interest on digital economy. He is currently a co-editor of Food Policy and associate editor of Agriculture Economics. He was the managing editor of Agriculture Resource Economics Review and associate editor of Applied Economic Perspective and Policy. Between 2006 to date, he has published more than 110 journals in leading economics journal, including American Journal of Agriculture Economics, European Journal of Agriculture Economics, Land Economics, Energy Journal, Strategic Management Journal, Journal of Health, and etc. In addition, he has been invited as a speaker in several workshops organized by APEC and OECD. Between 2015 and June, sorry. Oh, sorry, I don't realize that I don't open the camera. Now, between April 2015 and June 2018, he was on leave from NTU and served as a full-time commissioner of Taiwan Fair Trade Commission. And in TFTC, Taiwan Fair Trade Commission, he was in charge of international affairs and promoting economic analysis in the agency, and attended OECD, EATOP, and OECD ICN Chief Economist Workshop as a country representative. He also served as the organizer and program chair in TFTC's annual outreach program in South Asian countries. So that's very much about our amazing speaker. I hope this session will highlight possible avenues for cooperation between government agencies, industries, universities, and also come up with some beneficial cutting-edge solution that eventually can help the goal of achieving more resilient, productive, and sustainable agriculture, especially in palm oil industry, which can positively impact the economic development of Malaysia. So in closing, I wish to express my gratitude to all participants for the full cooperation and contribution to this session. We really appreciate your interest in the Malaysian palm oil, and we hope that our palm oil industry will strive to expand globally in the near future. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor, for the warm welcome. Now we have come to the event, MPOB-UKM Virtual Lecture, How to Use Big Data in Agricultural Policy. Nowadays, big data has gained mass attention from the academia, IT industry, and researchers as well. The benefits may include more quick, accessible, save costs, and improved operational efficiency. With an effective strategy, these benefits can provide competitive advantages over rivals. To explain more about the topic, let me invite Professor Dr. Chang, visiting professor of MPOB-UKM Endowment Chair, to deliver the lecture. Please welcome, Prof.
Okay. Yeah, so I hope my voice is okay though. It's okay? Yes.
Yeah, Prof.
Okay, so first of all, thank you very much for inviting me here. It's a good opportunity to share my work in agriculture economics analysis to all of you. Okay, no matter where you are right now, I hope you can enjoy the following talk with me. So here's what I'm going to do. So I will separate my talk into two parts. The first part, I'm going to talk about the nature of the big data. Okay, so you might hear about the name big data almost everywhere right now, but I'm going to share my own view on big data. Okay, that will take the first part of my presentation. And the second part of my presentation, I'm going to share all of you my recent research, how to use the big data in agriculture policy analysis. Okay, so after that, we will have a bunch of time for the question and answers. So that will give us some opportunity for exchange our ideas. Okay. I hope you can see my slide. Is that okay? Is that good?
I can see the slides.
Okay, good. Okay. I know Noe has introduced me just a few minutes ago, but I just give you a brief documentation of myself. So right now I'm the full professor in the Department of Agricultural Economics in National Taiwan University. and I received my PhD degree from Cornell University in agriculture economics. My recent research focus on primary focus on agricultural policy evaluation and agribusiness enterprise and food and consumption economics. And I also interested in digitalization in agriculture. Okay, so the digitalization in agriculture is a hot topic right now, but my research here have some part connect to the agricultural enterprise. Okay, so it's more practical. Okay, I have been opportunity to serve as the co-editor or associate editor and managing editor for several well-known journals. So right now, I'm still hold my co-editor position for policy and agricultural economics journal. So if you have any papers, you are welcome to submit it. These two are pretty good journal. So if you want to know more about me, please visit my website. Okay, when we talk about the big data, I would like to move a little bit back from the very beginning. That's what we call the ICT, information communication technologies. So what exactly is the digital technologies? If we follow the definition from OECD earlier back in 2014, so we will know that ICT actually including almost everything that's involved, mobile technology and devices, as well as data analysis. Okay, so the reason I highlight the data analysis is because that's related to what we really value the ICT. Okay, so what the use for ICT? ICT is just used to improve the generation, the collection, exchange, aggregation, combination, almost everything. Okay, and the presentation of a digital content, including the development of a service and app. So from this definition, it's pretty clear. It's involved multidisciplinary approach that will including the IT professional, because the IT professional has to be used to divide the mobile technology and the devices. Okay, so once you have the devices, how to value added the technology, that's the data analysis. Okay, so from this definition, it's pretty clear. This ICT involved almost all different multidisciplinary area people to join together. Okay, to work on ICT. I think that's that's part of the reason why the ICT is so popular right now. Okay, so what are the type of ICT we usually see? That's including the platform. Okay, what do I mean? The platform is a sharing platform like Airbnb and Uber. Okay, and also the sensor system. Okay, and also the Internet of Things. I think most people are pretty familiar with the Internet of Things. Okay, that's also a hot topic right now. And big data, sure, and cloud computing, and architecture intelligence, and blockchain. So all of this stuff, I will consider as just a specific type of ICT application. Okay, so for me, I think big data actually is a hot. Yes.
Can I just use for a while because some audience cannot see clearly the slide. Can you make it as a slideshow PowerPoint?
So you cannot see my slide.
Yeah, can you make it preview as the full screen?
Oh, large. Okay.
Yeah.
It's better.
Yeah, Prof. Thanks so much.
Okay, good. So let me continue. So if you have any question, just interrupt me anytime. That's fine. Because we have a bunch of time to talk about this. So for all the ICT, I think big data actually is a core and the driving engine for the ICT. So I will talk about more later. I think there's a two fact. The one is the big data. Another one is the internet connection. So you see, for all this kind of cloud computing, architecture, intelligent blockchain, I think that's all coming from the data and the internet connection. Okay, so big data is more important than the internet, because if you have the internet and then you have nothing, actually you cannot do anything. Okay, so that's why I'm pretty interested in the big data. Okay, so ICT, what is ICT related to the rural development? Okay, from the OECD definition, we know that ICT actually will change a lot of things. Okay, especially for the rural area, because we know that in many of the countries we have observed a lot of inequality, regional inequality in terms of economics, education, and health. Okay, so the reason for we have this kind of regional disparity is because for people living in the rural area, they have a more difficulty to access the information and the knowledge. Okay, so the ICT just provide a good opportunity for the rural people to access better information and the knowledge. That's why ICT has been evaluated very highly from by the rural development study area. So so if we look at the inequality, that's why I think that the whole path is just like that. First of all, we probably will have the education inequality, okay? Because we know that in the rural area, people have a less opportunity to be educated. Then after you have the education inequality, that will reflect very quickly on the economic condition, okay? So once you have economic inequality, for example, income inequality, then later on, when you accumulate it to a certain level, you will find that health inequality is coming up after the economic inequality. Okay, so once you have health inequality, later on, for the certain time periods, you will observe intergenerational inequality. Okay, so so from this kind of path of inequality and the disparity between the urban and the rural area, you can know that why the rural development research pays so much on the ICT. Okay, so that's part of the reason people like to talk about this. Okay. Okay. You can see my the current slide. Is that right? Okay. Okay. So in 2019, OECD Rural Development Conference, they have the conference in Korea, and the main theme of the conference is talk about how to use ICT to improve rural life. Okay, I was honored enough to have an opportunity to share the big data in agriculture by Taiwan's in that conference. So if you are interested in the whole conference detail, you can go to YouTube and find the conference information. Okay, and you will see me again. Let put my picture on the front. Okay, so so if the main thing of the conference actually is interesting. It's a little bit similar to what we are talking about today, but in that conference, they focus on the rural development. Okay, so they were sharing how the ICT can possibly improve the rural development. Okay, so that's an interesting conference. We have more than 100 participants from all the country, and then they share all kinds of interesting cases and some theory in the conference. Okay. How about the Taiwan? How about Taiwan? In Taiwan, actually, we pay much attention to promote ICT. Okay, especially since in 2014, the government of Taiwan, has implement a new digital technology policy. So they try to do three things, separate into three parts. The first one is open data. Okay, what does that mean by open data? This is really a new concept, because for such a long time, the government had a lot of administrative data, okay, used for their business. But this kind of data actually is pretty self-protected. Okay, for example, like health claim data or the income tax data and the other data, so on and so forth. Okay, so under the policy, the first thing the government try to do is do the open data. They call the term open data. That means that under the protection of a privacy law, the government has to share the data to the general public. For example, they probably cannot release the individual data, but what they can do, they can aggregate the data in some certain level. For example, like the community or some county or township. Okay, then people can apply the data to do something else, either in research or business. Okay, the second thing is the big data. Okay, big data is the thing we are going to talk about today. So I will save the detail later. Okay, in my talk. The third one is crowdsourcing. What is a crowdsourcing? The idea is that everybody probably have a different brain, different idea. So if they have some certain level of data, this kind of open data, people probably can apply the data in different way. Okay, so as long as the government can release the data somehow, for example, health claim data, then probably an engineering guy look at health claim data, they can apply to some engineering field. Okay, and the agricultural guy look at the health claim data, they probably can connect to farming. Okay, farm production, so on and so forth. So crowdsourcing actually is trying to borrow people's brain, okay, to value edit this kind of government data. So the three different things actually is a whole package for the ICT promoting program in Taiwan, and is guided by the government. Okay, so you can see that after 2014, from now actually is 6 or 7 years already. So we do have a pretty good progress right now and outcome. So I'm going to share with you the open data and the big data in agriculture. Okay, that's all the government data after 2014. Okay. Okay, so what is the big data? You can find the definition of a big data in probably a lot of different places. So I'm going to talk about the data in a very brief way, which I just the importance or the spatial nature of the data here. So because the data is it has a lot of nature, but they have a different character. So the first one is velocity. Velocity is the mean I'm sorry. The first one is the volume. Okay, volume means that the amount of the data. So what we call the big data, of course, the big data have to be pretty big. Okay, so the big data definitely share the large of volume. Okay, and the second one is velocity. Velocity means that the data just like they generate pretty fast. Okay, they generate pretty fast. So let's talk about the process to generate the data. So this feature is pretty important compared to what we know about the data. Okay, because I think for agricultural economists, we usually do our own survey. So it will take time to do the field visit to conduct the survey. So our data probably usually will lag for 1 or 2 years. Okay, for example, the household survey data we have in Taiwan The earlier wave is still in 2015. Okay, so that's almost 6 years ago. So big data, they don't do that kind of things. Okay, they generate the data pretty fast. The third one is a variety. Okay, variety will relate to what I'm going to talk about next, about the structured and non-structured data. I'm going to talk about that later. And later is talk about the veracity. Veracity actually reality. Okay, so the big data is more related to our daily life data. Okay, so so this is the 4V. We call the 4V, the most basic fundamental character of the big data. And then later on, people will develop into like the 6V or 7V. Okay, but this 4V is the basis. We usually look at the big data. Okay, and the second thing about the big data, I think this is most important one, is the non-structured data. Okay, I'm going to introduce you what I call non-structured data immediately. And the third character about the big data is a population representative. So when we talk about the big data, it's no longer such like a random survey. Okay, so most of the time we do the field survey. We will select probably like 100 farmers and do the survey. Okay, but here we don't do that. The data we usually have relate to big data is a population. Is almost close to the population. Okay, so I think this is two non-structured data and the population representative is most important. Okay, for the big data. Okay. Okay. What is the structured data I mean here? The structured data I mean is just like what we know about the data. Okay, from our first class in the school, in economics or statistics, what we learn about data. This is the data we know. Everything is so organized, put in order in the Excel file. Okay, so this is what we call the data. This is actually what we're familiar with, what we know about the data. It's just like that. Okay, but in these days, when we talk about the big data, okay, we can grab the data in different way. For example, this is the this is the one of the cases I found in Airbnb. Okay, so I apologize. You will see a Chinese character here, but okay, but it will tell you this is located in Taipei, Taiwan, Taipei, and what's the district. Okay, and for this item, they have 28 view. Okay, this is the point. Okay, so you will see some picture about the item and some view about the item. Okay, and you can see the rate. Okay, I believe many of you have experience in the Airbnb. So probably will be a good example when I talk about the data. So probably back to 10 years ago, or even we have this kind of service. There's no way for statistician or economics or economists to work on this stuff. But after the big data revolution, so the IT guys, they can use a spatial software to grab the information from the website we just see. Okay, so this is a very important thing to change the we call the data revolution. Okay, because we have a different sources to get the data. Okay, Airbnb is one typical example. So almost everything you can see from the screen, they can translate to the like Excel sheet data we have and then what we are familiar with. Okay, let me give you another example. Another example is the Google Trend data. So this is publicly available. So if you just go to the website, Google website, and you type a Google Chang and type a keyword. For example, I use COVID-19 here. So you can see the time pass, okay, and the count, the number of search. Okay, people go online to search the everything related to COVID-19. Okay, and you can specify the area. This is for Taiwan and the past 12 months and all category. Okay, you can just select your own criteria and find the search information. Okay, what is kind of information used for? For the old days, we use the news printed in the newspapers. The question is why it's so big? Because it can come in from a lot of information from the non-structured sources, okay, including like the website information and even the social media discussion. So in these days, almost everything, as long as that's happening, so you will have the you can have the ID technology to grab the data and transfer the data. Okay, that's why it make the data so big. And another thing is like the data generation is pretty timing. Okay, for example, you can grab what happened like 5 minutes ago. Okay, so that's why that's another reason why we have a data so huge right now. Okay, so so as you can see, that will give the good opportunity, okay, for different experts to work together to come up with a different idea to use the data. Okay, I always tell my I always share with my friend and even my student. I think the data can be value added as long as you use it. Okay, if you don't use the data is no value there. Okay. The next I'm going to talk about the big data of agriculture in Taiwan. Okay, so this is the data source by our agriculture government authority in that's called the Council of Agriculture. We call the COA here. So So after 2014, the COA actually do a lot of serious work to open the data. Okay, so in general, they have 8 category of their big data structure. The first part is we call the open data. Okay, what is that? The open data actually is is almost everything. You can use an API structure to connect the data. Okay, so most of them, the open data is what we call the administrative data. Okay, so the open data can be like a number of farmer health insurance registered over time, this kind of information. Of course, everything has to be protected by the privacy law. So they usually will just open the data to the public in an aggregate way. For example, in the county, okay, or in different certain years, okay. The second data is we call the GIS data, geographic information service data. Okay, so this more relate to the agricultural production, okay, and the farmland information. Okay, so this data is pretty helpful for people trying to do the farmland price analysis or the farm production management. Okay, because that can give you some, for example, the data about the soil quality in different area. Okay, so these 2 data are pretty popular in Taiwan right now, and many thanks to the Council of Agriculture to promote the data and then make it release, or we call it open to the public. And the third category is called the farm management. Okay, so then we will talk about the fire management, the field management. Okay, so we the COA right now have a special program for the farm management, which I'm going to introduce a program a little bit later. Okay, so the fourth one is the field assistant. Okay, that's the same thing. They have some special program try to provide the farmer to do the production. Okay, using the ICT technology. So which I'm going to introduce later. So this 4 group is we call the quantitative data, because you can really find the data. In other 4 group here is more the qualitative data. What do I mean qualitative data? Let me give you an example. They will have the library, or for example, the digital library. Okay, digital library of agriculture online museum. They will just give you a knowledge. If you are a new entry farmer, you try to do the farm production, but you don't know how. In the old days, you probably had to consult with the senior. They will show you how to do that. But in these days, you no longer have to do that, because this agriculture online museum will save and provide all kind of crop information in the digital museum. So you can just visit the museum online and check all the information. Okay, that's the example about it. And also they provide the education. Okay, so right now, agriculture and food and agriculture education is an important subjects in Taiwan right now. So they also provide a platform to talk about the food and agriculture education. So in general, we have 8 category of big data, okay, provided by our agriculture authority, which is the COA, and that including the quantitative data and the qualitative data. Okay, for my own research, because I'm an empirical economist, so I use their open data and the GIS data a lot. Okay. If you are interested in this kind of open data, I would suggest you to visit this website, and this website will contains all the data just introduced, and they will make it in 8 more clear category That's over 1,000 items. For example, there will be safe diet and agritourism and the fishery livestock. So for the agritourism, you probably can find out what is the agritourism farms in Taiwan and where. Okay, and probably can find some picture of the agritourism farm. So you can easily to arrange and schedule your farm visit. Okay, if you are really interested to do that. And the GIS data I just introduced, they provide some certain GIS shift file. So you will have the map that will come in with the map. So you will see a lot of map, and you can use the map to do something. Okay, and they also have other stuff. That's not only for the crop, but also including the forest and the livestock and other things. Okay, so it's a pretty rich data set you can find. Okay, so this is the one example of agriculture GIS data. Okay, so this data is talk about all the farmland. Okay, so as I say, GIS always come with a map. So they will provide the certain amount of map so you can look at. Okay, so this is the example of one particular area. So if you have this kind of data, you will know what is a farmland use in this area. Okay, so this kind of information actually help you a lot for the Taiwanese government to identify and protect the farmland for farm use. Why? Because you have this kind of picture, you can identify the manufacturing factory in the farmland production zone. Okay, so that helps a lot for the government to protect the farmland. Okay. Okay, and so for me, the application of the big data actually is the new world of digitalization. Okay, because when you see later on, almost everything we talk about the application of the big data that's related to visualization. Okay, so the visualization is another word actually for the big data. Okay, so most of the time when we talk about the big data, and you will always expecting to see a map or visualization something. Okay, because that's easier to understand what's going on. Let me give you a pretty good example, which I like a lot. Okay, so this is the example for the government try to figure out the waste water use. Okay, so the first picture here, this is the distribution of factory wastewater complaint cases. What do I mean by that? The EPA, Environmental Protection Agency in Taiwan, they will have the hotline to receive the complaint about the water use. So every red dot means one case, one phone call. Okay, they receive complaint about the manufacturing factory water use. Okay, so this is the island of Taiwan. So you will see this is the Taipei, the capital area, and then this is the Kaohsiung. This is the Taichung. This is the three largest city in Taiwan. So you can see that and the production zone is here. Agricultural production zone is around this area. So you will see that the manufacturing factory wastewater complaint case is concentrated in these three large cities. Okay, so this is nothing to do with agriculture, but we can have another map. This map will show all the agricultural zones in Taiwan. Okay, especially the one with the yellow area market here. Okay, this is the production, the most important agricultural production zones in Taiwan. okay, is centralized on this area. Okay, so what can government do about it? If you have these two maps, first of all, I want to remind everyone, both of the map are population. It's not random survey. It covers all the situation about the Taiwan. Okay, then we have a map. Okay, so map means that it's not from the structured data. It's from the non-structured data. Actually, it's from the GIS data. So what the government can do, what the COA can do about it, that's easier. You just map. You just mapping these two data together. So this is what you get. Okay, that's pretty easier, straightforward. You just mapping these two map together. Okay, so if you map this together, you will find a surprising result. What do I mean by that? You see, we see a lot of red dots in the spatial agriculture production zone. Okay, that's not a good sign. Means that supposedly we should not observe any manufacturing factory Western water cases in agricultural area, production area, because this area should be only used by agriculture production. Okay, but unfortunately, in reality, if you mapping the cases from the real world manufacturing company water cases, okay, you will find that, wow, okay, the farmland with a serious water, wastewater pollution is in this area, certain area, okay. Okay, actually it's in this area. So what can we do next? We just zone up. We just zone up the area to see what happened. So we just zooming up this area. Okay, this particular county. Okay, and if we zooming up the particular county, we will find that oh, finally we find a bad guy. Okay, because we find there's a lot of cases in two spatial township. Okay, so in these two, with the red area. Okay, these two area have a lot of the Western water complaining cases. Okay, so using this kind of big data, so we can easily to find the problem. Okay, to find the problem. Okay, so this is the one of the typical example. How we use a big data in the policy analysis. Okay, that's good. And later on, I'm going to introduce one of the important program in Taiwan. Okay, we call the RRP program. That's a Rural Revitalization Program. Okay, we call the RRP program. What is the RRP program? The RRP program was launched in 2010 to reveal the economic vitality of a rural farming community as they suffer a steady outflow of people and the reduced competition. Okay, so the RRP program is put in an easy way. It's just a program trying to rebuild the rural community. Okay. So how the village, the unit is the village, or we call the community. How the government run the program. So the in the rural area, the residents have to propose an idea how to reconstruct their village. Okay, then government can provide a lot of educational training program to the community residents. Okay, and help them to revitalize the community. Okay, so that's the idea about the program. So right now the program have the coverage rate of the program is kind of significant. So that involves the 116 1,000 individuals and in more than 2,000 community right now. Okay, so let me give you an idea what's going on here. The picture here and here, this is the view before the program, before the RPP program. Okay, and here, so you see that's pretty disorganized and broken almost everywhere in the rural side. Okay, so what is the example about the program, the RRP program here? Okay, this is the process. First of all, after the village submit the application, the government will have the training program, and that will call up all the community residents to get together to talk to do the training. Then the residents have to involve themselves to do like cleaning and reconstruction with the funding support by the government. Okay, so most of the time they will find the local resource to rebuild the program. Okay, this is the typical example after they rebuild the program. Okay, so because here you see the area just become more greenable, colorful, and they hope to promote the agritourism. Okay, or the countryside visiting. Okay, so this is the whole procedural process of the program. Let me show you some picture, and you will get some idea of what's going on. So this is the area, exactly the same area, because you can see from the tree. So this is the picture before the program. You see, it's not attractive at all. Okay, and this is the picture after the program. So everything is become organized. Okay, they will highlight the local culture. Okay, here. So they will have a green tree and everything covered. Okay, so that become more active. Okay. Okay, so why I want to introduce this program before? Because there is the pretty good big data application of this program, which I'm going to introduce you right now. So so after the several years running the program, the government tried to know what is the effective of the program. Okay, first of all, they try to see if the land use has been changed. Okay, because they hope they will move more to agriculture. Okay, because they want to because one of the objectives of the program is try to promote ecosystem in the rural area. Okay, that's why they call the revitalization. So they just select the area. They just select the area, rural area. Okay, and they can use the satellites to compare the land use situation. Okay, before and after that area. So this is the funding use. Okay, they will see what is the area of the use for forest, used for crop production, and used for other things. Okay, and they even can identify the crop. Okay, so this is a good example for the application to use the satellite data. Okay, so that's why this is the way the government try to evaluate if they spend the money in the right way and the right place. Okay, good. Another example is here. Okay, let me give you some background about the about what's going on about the idea. So we received the complaining about the elementary school in the rural area. It's kind of weird because almost every year in the farming harvest season of rice, they will have the student in the elementary school. They are more allergic to the air quality. Okay, they have a lot of coughing and the fever just during the farm harvesting area season. Okay, So the government try to figure out what's going on. Okay, what's going on with this kind of children's health? So they do the things, combine different data, and then they do find the answer for that. What they do about it? They just collect the farmland and the field and the school, okay, near the farmland. Okay, they make it like a circle for the distancing. Okay, so you see the different dark color. That means that different the area. Then they on the other hand, they also collect the data about the farmland. Okay, near the area. Okay, so they also have a satellite information. Okay, about the other area just around the school and the field. Okay, so the answer they find that, wow, that's because of the pesticides use. Okay, because every time they do the cropping season, when farmer use the pesticides will pass through to the to elementary school. Okay, because of the wind blowing. Okay, so the wind blowing and the pesticides used in the farm field, that will make the elementary school student more allergic, okay, to the air quality, okay, and have a coffee. So they just use this kind of combining different information to find the answer for that problem. Okay, good. And this is the another example. That's traceability. So I believe I don't know the situation too much about Malaysia, but I do know in Japan or Korea they have a similar program. They call the traceability. What do I mean by traceability? When farmer starting their production, they can use the ICT technologies to save all the information. Okay, for example, how much and when they use the pesticides and the fertilizer. Okay, and what is the production, how much of the production, and when they collect the yield. Okay, so this is the system, and then they can collect. Then later on, that's the digital platform. That digital platform will save all the information they put into the system. Okay, then when the specific product sold to the customer can use that system to trace back to know all the production situation. Okay, so this system government put a lot of credit on it because that can help a lot to do the food safety control. Okay, this we call the traceability. Okay, and the traceability, how to use that? Actually, that's pretty easy though. Okay, they have a local like this. You just scan it. Okay, so you can everything will put in the cloud. Okay, so this is a system the government is right now promoting a lot. Okay, okay. Okay. So I'm going to share with you one of the enterprise cases. I'm going to share. Before we talk about the research a lot. So next, I'm going to share with you two cases. That's really agribusiness enterprise cases. Okay, I know the information because both of them are my students, and so they work pretty well in their business. Okay, so the first cases is we call the agri-weather case. Okay, this is an English name for their company. Okay, this is my student, a handsome guy, smart guy, and make a lot of money right now. So before I always buy him a dinner, but right now he always buy my dinner because he's a rich man right now. Okay, so this is the picture I graphed from his media interview. Okay, so what the company is doing? Actually, this is the company to provide the whole ICT package to farmers. Okay, if the farmer is interested in their service, they first will put into the IoT in the field. Okay, the IoT will including almost everything, the devices to collect the updated information from the field. Okay, so they use ICT to collect the data. Then they will have the platform, the digital platform. The digital platform will not only storage the data, they also will graph some updated weather data information to the farmers. Okay, and they will also set some learning system and advice system to the farmers. Okay, for example, they will tell the farmer they will tell the farmer the weather right now, the air quality right now. Okay, so the farmer can set up their own threshold level to receive the alert. Okay, so this is the data they graph from other resources. They just provide to the farmer collaborated with them. So this will and then later on every month they will provide the monthly report. Okay, to the farmer. Okay, so this is the platform. Okay, the farmer can get information from, and then they will use the data. Okay, input by the farmer. They can provide the modeling analysis. Okay, try to make some advice to the farmer. For example, they will show the growth pattern of your crop. Okay, they will use the model to do some preliminary harvest prediction. Okay, given the information they have. Okay, so they also will provide some agricultural consulting. Okay, so this will provide knowledge feedback. Okay, to this platform and the farmer. Okay, so to make it short, this is the business service they have. Okay, 3 stage. Okay, 3 part of analysis. Okay, good. So they do benefit the client. Why do I say that? Because they provide a fund management solution. Okay, let me see. Let me show you some example. Okay, so this is the 3 example they share with me. So I have the opportunity to share with you. Okay, the first one is pomelo. The second one is the paddy rice. Okay, I don't think I have a pineapple one. Okay, but that will be enough. So the pomelo cases. That's this is a pomelo field. Okay, in Taiwan. So the pomelo is pretty sensitive to the irrigation water. So right now, the Taiwan have a very serious irrigation water shortage problem. Okay, so the pomelo farm, they care so much about the irrigation water use because the quality of pomelo depends on the water use. Okay, so what the company do for the pomelo farms? They just provide they visit the field. Okay. And they provide, and they use the monitor to receive the information, and then they even construct the automatic irrigation water system. Okay, just spreading the water. Okay, automatically. Okay, depend on the information of production they monitor from the field. Okay, so they successfully saved the almost 97% of the water. Okay, and the quality increased about the 20%. Okay, and the good they put on the market increased 30%. Okay, increased 30%. Okay, so let's see the outcome. So if the farmer would like to have their service, okay, so finally the farm revenue increased 100%. Okay, because if if the palmetto farm use their automated system. Okay, so this is the successful case about the palmetto farm. And the second one, we are going to talk about the paddy rice. Okay, so the paddy rice one is more typical. I think this case has been already applied to a lot of different areas of the world. Okay, because we all know that the paddy rice rely on fertilizer a lot. Okay, especially in a lot of countries, they have the water shock. Okay, uncertain water shock. So the fertilizer has been shown can stabilize the quality of the rice. Okay, so how the company do anything about it? Again, they use the IoT system to monitor in the field, to monitor the temperature, humidity. Okay, to monitor the temperature, humidity, and the soil quality, and the CO2 concentration, and the wind speed. Okay, so they will put the IoT on the field to monitor the data. Then they will translate the data, okay, into the platform. Okay, again, fit into their business. So they can monitor this kind of growth path, okay, and all the weather situation. So that will help the farmer a lot to reduce the fertilizer use. Okay, so that's important because in these days we talk about a lot of organic stuff. They're not allowed fertilizer overuse. Okay. Okay. So this is the area. This is the area they work together. Okay. They do find that after having their system, they have a quality improved and avoid the fertilizer damage or overuse. Okay, that's kind of interesting though, because they just, one of the farmer work with land just shared the comment on the social media platform. Okay, the farmer say that after use the IoT devices, he make a decision on fertilize according to the data of soil monitoring. That will help him to avoid the fertilizer overuse and improve the rice quality. Okay, so this is the good example for the successful business. Okay, so right now the agriculture companies, they're trying to working with the other crop or other agricultural product. Okay, so right now they focus on the fruit and rice. Okay, so they are welcome any proposal to work with land. Okay. Okay, and the second case is the successful story about the rice company in Taiwan. This is the another enterprise case which made me pretty proud. Okay, because this company is pretty famous in Taiwan. Okay, so what they are doing, they are sort of like a vertical integration company for rice production. Okay, so they specify the variety of the rice, and what is a more important thing for this company, they do a lot of contract farming. Okay, they do a lot of contract farming. So they select the variety and ask the contract farmers to do the production. Okay, so the Rice House is the name of the company, have a contract with 600 professional farmers. Okay, in the production and the marketing area. Okay, so they select and develop the variety, and they're working closely with our agricultural experimental stations in Taiwan. And they do have a very good connection with the Japanese rice company. So they just get the right product in the first place. Okay, and they do the smart agriculture things. Okay, again, that's the ICT things. How they do about it? they just almost control everything from the very beginning. Okay, the production and the processing. I will talk about the processing later. That's another special feature of their business. And then they also do the selling. Okay, so this company store all the information in this three process into the cloud. Okay, they store the they store the data in the data mining takeaway. Okay, so they also do the traceability. Okay, they use the case I just introduced, developed by the government, do the traceability. Okay, because that's the right way they can collect the information from the different farmers. Okay, they compared to other companies, this company pay much attention to the processing or storage. Okay, they just use the IoT stuff, do the monitoring thing a lot. Okay, so you can see from the screen, they have sensoring stuff in the containers, and then they trace back the temperature, because that will be the good strategy to do the pest infection prevention. Okay, so they do a pretty good storage job in the processing stage, so they can have a longer serving periods for their product. Okay, and this is the marketing though. They also use the very smart way, direct sale to business consumer marketing. Okay, so they pay a lot of attention to marketing. Okay, this is the CEO, the boss, the vice student of the rice house. So this is their product. Okay, so you can see that the size of the rice product actually is not that big, but the unit price is pretty high compared to the other companies' product. Why they do that? Because they can provide a very good quality service and the quality control in the whole vertical integration system in the production. That's one of the reason they can have this kind of high value product. Okay, so they also do their own marketing. Okay, they just directly contact with a lot of big companies. So the big companies can sell the product. Okay, so they also pay much attention to the social media. Okay, they pay much attention to the social media network, because they think that's the best way to do the advertisement. Okay, for example, they have their own Facebook. Okay, they will share a lot of good picture about their field and the life of their contracted farmers. So people will consider this is not only a simple rice product, but also a different attitude to life. Okay, so they will also have the opportunity to receive a lot of feedback, okay, from the participant and from the from the potential customer. Okay, so that's the way they do it. But this is not the end of the story. The end of the story is like this. They combine the agritourism in the field. Okay, so they not only close the door to do the business, they open the door to the potential agritourism visiting. Okay, so this is the advertisement that they put for their agritourism. So the customer can pay the money to visit their field. So they also combine with the educational program. Okay, and the people can take a picture for you, and you will have a wonderful day in the field. Okay, so like I say, I'm pretty proud to know this company though, because they almost do everything they can, try to vertically integrate all the business process procedure in the rice production. Okay, they do a great job. Okay. I think that will be the first part of my presentation, and I plan to take 10 minutes break, and when we're back from the break, I'm going to share with you my own research using the big data. Okay, that's the reason to paper I have. Okay, I think that's interesting papers. Okay.
Thank you, Prof. We shall have breaks for 10 minutes and we will come back soon. In about 10:55 a.m., we will continue the sessions with the next presentation from Prof and also the Q&A session. Thank you. Hi, our session will be start very soon. But for now, I would like to open the floor for the question and answer session. Please welcome all audience to participate. You can write down your questions in the chat box or you can ask directly through camera. Thank you.
Okay, I'm back. I hope you're back.
Okay.
Okay.
Prof, are you ready so we can continue session?
Yes. So let me continue my presentation. Okay.
Sure.
Good.
Give it to you.
Okay. So I'm going to introduce you two cases I have for using the big data. Okay. So the one of the reason I'm trying to introduce you the two cases is because these two cases is cooperative with the project with the government agency. Okay. So both of the project have a stronger policy implication. So later on, I just use the data I worked with them in the project to write the two papers. Okay, so these two cases, which I like a lot, is because not only pretty useful for the government policy, okay, but also have some value for academic research. The first paper I'm going to introduce is the title is Older Farmer Pension Program and Family Fund Succession. Okay, I will introduce you the Older Farmer Pension Program later on. But before that, I want to talk about why family fund succession is the big issue. As you can see in a lot of developed country, okay, like Europe or Korean, Taiwan, Japan, okay, the farmer is pretty old. Okay, we have an older farm structure. Part of the reason is because this country are well industrialized country. So we will see the older farm and the farmland areas is shrinking all the time. So we do have the problem with the family farm succession because the young generation they try to move to the non-farm business because of the higher salary. Okay, so the family farm succession is a big problem in a lot of countries, including Taiwan. Okay, so this paper I talk about the older farmer pension program and the fund succession. Okay, it's published in American Journal of Agricultural Economics. If you ask me, I would say this is probably the best journal in agricultural economics. Okay. So why are the farmers in Taiwan? I just grabbed some picture to help you to have some idea about what are the farmers. So you probably will feel a little bit disappointed because you didn't see a lot of young faces. That's right, because the average age of the farm operator is about 62 years old. So this is all the farmer you can see in the field. They are pretty old, although they look pretty happy, but they are pretty old. Okay. What is the older pension program here? To secure elderly farm, to secure elderly farm, the economic well-being. So the farmers, we have the Farmer Health Insurance Program. I call it FHI program here. So it has been implemented in 1989. So the eligibility to join the program is a farmer as long as you are older than 15 years old, you can enroll in the program. Okay, but you also need to hold certain size of the farmland because that's one of the criteria for you to be identified as the farmers. Okay, so what is the benefit to join the FHI program? Because you can pay the favorable premium subsidy. Okay, for the other general laborers, they probably have to pay 40% of the premium, but the FHI enrollee only need to pay the 30%. Okay, and the other benefit is about the pension. This is the most significant and important one. So you join the FHI, and after you turn to 65, you can receive the lump sum payment for pensions. Okay, that's about 7,000 NT dollar per month. Okay, so this is the as pay as you go payment. So the benefit here, most of them coming from the pension program. Okay, so that's also the one of the particular reason to attract a lot of farmers to join the program. Okay. So what does the government need? What does the government need? It's kind of interesting though, because you can see the total number of farm workers. I mean, the registered farm workers is about 500,000, only 500,000. But the number of FHI enrollee is almost 3 times the number. It's 1.4 million. Okay, so it's kind of weird because supposedly FHI, only the farmers can enroll in the FHI. But what's going on? What the number of FHI enrollee is 3 times larger than the number we should expect. Okay, so the government come with a conclusion. We probably will have the forced farmers. What do I mean? What do they mean by forced farmer? You probably hold the farm asset, but you don't do anything on farm production. Okay, they FHI actually is not by design to protect to protect this group of forced farmers. Okay, so they try to identify who are the forced farmers. They try to look at the identity or qualification more seriously. Okay, because you see every month when you turn to 65, you can receive 7,000 NT dollars. Okay, that's a huge money. Okay, if we look at the whole population, so they try to save the budget to do something else. For example, like to develop ICT to help the new entry farmers. Okay, so they so that's give me the opportunity to look at the problem together. Okay, so this project is collaborated among different agencies. Okay, so we collect the data on the FHI registration profile, and we also access the data for the farmland registration. Okay, because one of the participation criteria is the farmland, and we also received the data from the income tax, because that's the one way to check whether farmers' income is coming from farming, okay, or from non-farm salary. That's important to identify the we call the forced farmer. And we also access the data for National Health Insurance Program, okay, because FHI is a part of the NHI program. Okay, so we combine different data set here. So what is this is the eligibility rule I just mentioned. Okay, so if you participate in the FHI, when you turn to 65, you can receive the pension. Okay, So this is the only criterion. It's about age. Okay. So what is the research objective here? So this paper contributes to the fund sanction issue by user data by user program in Taiwan as the example. So this kind of older farmer pension program can be considered as the social security pension program, but that's for farmer. Okay, so we try to look at how the effect of the program will affect family fund succession, and how it may differ for different type of farm. Okay, and for academic research, you know, you have to do something pretty serious to convince people that the finding you have actually is the coming from the policy. So we pay a special attention to capture the causality effect. Okay. What is the data used in the paper? I grabbed the data from another sources because I want to do the research. So we have the census survey. Okay, so in every 5 years, the government will do the survey for all the farm. That's about the 780,000 farms in Taiwan every 5 years. So I grabbed the data. I grabbed the raw data, okay, from the agricultural census survey. So if for each family, one principal farm operator is identified. Okay, so so all the social demographic characteristic of the principal farm operator was collected, and also as well as the farm activity. Okay, but this data have no indicate for HHI enrollment. Okay, so I just merged these two data sets. Okay, because I get the FHI status of each farm operator in the survey in the census survey. Okay, so I just merged these two together. Okay, so only by the principal farm operator. Okay, so this is the data I have. As I say earlier, part of the data was scrapped from my project. Okay, with the government, try to find the forced farmers. Okay, and what is the analysis here? The analysis here actually. Let me talk about the idea here. So the analysis here is I use the regression discontinuity. Okay, so what is the idea about it? Forget about the nostalgia. Let me share with you my idea. So 65 is the age cutoff. So above 65 with the FHI enrollment, they can receive the pension. Below that, they cannot. So I just select a farmer with the age window between the 60 and the 70. Okay, so I can compare what's going on. Okay, so this is the idea. Okay, this is the idea. Okay, so this is age. Okay, okay, this is the age. Okay, so for this group, if the y-axis is the rate of family fund succession. Okay, so if we find that if we compare the one just below the age cutoff and the one just above the age cutoff, okay, they should be pretty similar in other social characteristics, right? But if you find a jump, the only difference is like this group can receive the pension. This group cannot receive the pension. So we just compare. We can just compare the fund succession rate just above and below the age cutoff. We can identify the program effect. Okay, this is a core idea of my paper used here. Okay, so this is what we found about the data. You see, for the HHI, okay, age 65. They do have a jump. They have a higher succession rate. That's correct, because that can be by nature. Or at least I told the fund succession rate by nature. Okay, so we can look at the FHI participant. We can find that it's a little jump. Okay, but this jump will lower than this jump. Okay, it's probably I apologize I did not make it much clear, but we find that this jump, then by the nature succession, the jump is larger than the jump here. Okay, so that's the evidence. The pension program actually is a slow down the fund succession rate. Okay. Okay. So what is the key finding here? The key finding, because I skip all the technical detail. So if you are interested, you can look at the detail. So I find that the fund succession is much higher for operator age 65. Okay, but the succession rate is also higher for non-FHI operators. So combined together, I find a negative effect of I find a negative effect of the pension program, okay, on fund succession, okay. And this negative effect is more pronounced among the fruit farm. So what is the policy implication here? So this study find the evidence, there's a trade-off between the social security program and the fund succession. Okay, on the one hand, government for the sustainability reason, the government expect the higher fund succession rate, because that's one way to keep agriculture keep running in the coming future. But on the other hand, they try to secure the elderly farmers' social security by the pension program. But I find that these two cannot match together. Okay, there's a trade-off actually. The question is why the pension program will slow down the family fund succession. I think here's the reason. Because the elderly farmer, try to keep the pension. Okay, they have to continue to be identified as a farmer. Okay, to identify as a farmer, the easier way is to keep a certain amount of farmland. Okay, so that's why because they continue to keep the farmland, so that's why they delayed the succession passed to the next generation. Okay, I think that's the intuition behind our findings. And this paper published in earlier 2013. After that, I'm pretty happy to find that I actually make some effort to the government for the policy reform. Okay, because later on they try to consider to cancel the requirement to holding the farmland. Okay, so that's the progress they make right now. Okay. Okay. So that's the first paper. The second paper is the paper I look at the food industry business. Okay, so this paper is published in the Journal of Health Economics. This is the best journal in the health economics. Okay, so this paper I moved to the convenience store. Okay, I will spend some time to introduce the convenience store. Okay. Okay, so let me share with you my research objective. Okay, here I try to distinguish two different concepts. The first one is food accessibility. The second one is inter-brand competition. Okay, I try to look at how these two will affect healthcare utilization. Okay, so the healthcare utilization here, I look at outpatient, inpatient, and drug prescription drug expenditure. Okay, and I also search for the mechanism. Okay, so this is the first paper try to identify the inter-brand competition of food outlet on healthcare utilization. Okay, So also what I focus on the convenience store. I don't know too much about the situation about Malaysia, but in Taiwan, convenience store is pretty popular. Okay, so the convenience store have a full brand. Okay, this full brand account for 98% of the convenience store. Okay, the first the one with the biggest market share is the 7-Eleven. The second one is the Family Mart. So 7-Eleven account for almost half of the market share, and the Family Mart account for the 30%, another 30% of the market share. Okay. What is the idea about the food accessibility and the competition? You see, if A is the one particular brand, is the B is the another brand. So if in the area they have the same brand, they don't have an inter-brand competition. But on the other hand, in this case, they have an inter-brand competition. But in both cases, if the food accessibility is captured by the number of a convenience store outlet, okay, the food accessibility is the same, okay, for these two cases. Okay. So this just show you that the convenience store industry is growing over time in Taiwan right now. Okay. Okay. Let me talk a little bit about the product sale in the convenience store. So most of them are ready-to-eat food, and for the ready-to-eat food, some of them have a private labels. Okay, account for the 70% of the sale. So this is a product you can find at convenience store. So compared to other lunch you can have, the convenience store one usually have a nutrition label. Okay, they have a nutrition label like this one is had a salad. Okay, they will tell you the nutrition, and this logo is for the scanning. Okay, so you will have all the this is the traceability. Okay, just like we introduced earlier. Okay, and 7-Eleven actually pay attention to the nutrition product stuff. Okay, this is one of the example. They will advise you how to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner in the 7-Eleven, and what is the calorie you will have. Okay, so how to lose 7 pounds in 11 days? It's a logo for the 7-Eleven. Okay, why I spend so much time to introduce the product sold in the convenience store? Because the convenience store I'm talking about here in Taiwan is quite different from the one we find in the United States. Okay. Okay. So this is some picture you can see from the convenience store. Okay. You can buy a lot of stuff. Most of them are food product, and then you will have like a dining facility here. Okay. So after they have a dining facility, actually convenience store compete with the restaurant a little bit. Okay. So these are the, if you don't want to do the shopping in the convenience store, you probably will get some from the vendor, okay, or the lunch shop, okay, and this is a breakfast at the traditional convenience store area in Taiwan, okay, and this is the meal box, lunch box, sold in the 7-Eleven, okay. So what is data I have? Actually, again, the data I work with the Taiwan competition agency. Okay, so we get the again the healthcare data in the county area, and we also have a convenience store data. Okay, and we also collect the healthcare resource data. Okay, so the NHI data is just the health visits record from National Health Insurance Program. That's including almost everything. Okay, like when and how often you visit the doctor. Okay. So the convenience store data. This is the data I would like to talk a little bit more. Okay, this data is the administrative profile from the Taiwan Fair Trade Commission. Okay, so they use the test record to collect the data every year. Okay, and they calculate the HHI index. This index is a competition index used in a lot of industrial organization literature a lot. So this we calculate the HHI index in each township. So we will capture the competition status of each township. Okay. So let me show you this. Okay. This is the regional disparity we find in the competition. Okay, using the test data to calculate the HHI. So for the checkered area, we don't have any convenience store, and for the area with some color, the dark color, the less competition. Okay, so actually this map just tells us that the competition actually is quite different among the area. Okay, in this area is a capital Taipei, so we have more competition here. And in the third largest city here, we do have more stronger competition. Okay. So I use a two-part model to do the empirical estimation. So if you're interested, you're welcome to look at the paper. So I'm going to talk about the main findings here. So actually, we find it's kind of interesting. Okay, because we find the more competitive of the convenience store, or less health expenditure people will spend, okay, on healthcare. That's a little bit counterintuition. But if you think about a little bit deeper, you will find that may be reasonable, okay? Because more competition of the convenience store industry means that the price will lower. When the price lower, that will attract the people to spend more money to have like a meal box in a convenience store. Okay, so they will have less consumption in this kind of traditional or traditional restaurant or the food vendors. Okay, and we all know that convenience store provides some nutrition labels. Okay, that will be more health product in general. Okay, so that's the way. We will find that more competition on the convenience store, the less health expenditure is fine. Okay. Okay. So these are the two papers. For the second paper, what is the policy implication? The policy implication is that convenience store, the competition of a convenience store is more intense right now. So the government try to monitor the competition status of a convenience store. Okay, so from this project, government get what they need, and just go one step further to combine the idea with the healthcare use. Okay. So finally, I'm going to make some conclusion on my talk today. I just sharing my own idea about it. So that of course that will allow some room for our discussion. So. What about the big data? So I think a large data is kind of useful because it's more representative to the population, which I believe that's the big spatial future of the big data. Okay, and if you want to have some data close to the population, that is much easier if you can get administrative profile. Okay, so. In the old days, we do a research in the random survey. I'm not saying that I don't like that because myself also do the research like that. But if we have the big data here, we can have the population. Okay, so to do the policy implication, it's much better if you can have population data on hand. Okay, so another point I want to share is like. In the generation of a big data, the data is almost everywhere. Okay, so what can we do about the data is idea matter. Who have the best idea? Who probably have value added the most for using the data? Okay, so and crowd outsourcing is a possible solution. Okay, and that require multidisciplinary cooperation. And the third point I try to make is like the visualization and change the world a lot. Visualization have changed the world a lot. So no matter what kind of big data you want to do, when you present the results, it better come with the visualization. Oh, okay, if you can show the map or just some quick idea, that will be much easier. Okay, but I want to make the careful note here. The causality is a hard issue. Okay, just a couple of days ago, Nobel winner this year. Economic Nobel winner this year was awarded to the econometrician. Okay, the three of them devote themselves a lot to do the causality issue. Okay. Another point is open data and open-minded. It's kind of weird that the government always promote open data, but they have a very closed mind. What do I mean by that? They don't open their data that easily. So every time when I have this kind of talk, I always encourage the government or agency try to open their data, okay, and open their mind, okay. And some World Bank have some experience that's worthwhile to talk about. So World Bank use this kind of ICT things to strengthen their random survey. Okay, for example, they will have interviewer iPhone. So every time they visit the field, they just log in the location. Okay, and the World Bank can use a satellite to scan out the area, the interview area, to get a more physical characteristic. Okay, that will save time for the interviewer and increase the accuracy of the information. Okay, and the last thing I want to talk about is the non-structured data. Okay, so the non-structured data is the common source for we call the big data right now, and that require multidisciplinary teamwork. Okay, you probably like economist, like myself as an economist, I would need an IT professional to grab the data for me. Okay, actually that will require more multidisciplinary teamwork. Okay, so I think I'm running a little bit over time. I do apologize about it, and thank you for your listening. Okay, if you are interested in my research or have any question after the talk, you're welcome to email me. This is my email. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Prof. Actually, we receive a lot of questions from Webex chat box as well as from Facebook Live, Prof. I'm going to start reading the questions from Facebook first. Prof, are you ready for our next session, Q&A?
Where is the question?
Prof, I'm going to start with reading the questions from our Facebook Live. Is it okay from you?
Can you speak a little bit louder?
Prof, you hear me?
Yes.
I'm going to start reading the questions from Facebook Live. Is it okay from you, Prof?
Yeah, we are taking a question right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So where is the question?
Okay, I'm going to read for you from Facebook Live first.
Okay.
From chat box, Webex. Okay, the first question is from Facebook Live. The question is, data science can be implemented in any domain to digest raw data we have and gain valuable information as well as a result. Can you explain more regarding the algorithm that we may take and tuning the parameter? In reality, we will not be getting the clean data.
Excuse me, I didn't get the question. Let me see. Where can I get the question here?
Okay, Prof. So we just start from the chat box. Okay, the one that you can see from panel chat box from Webex. Prof, okay, we start from Dinka Basaki. Is it okay? I read first for you from chat box. How can big data can be applied in the farm oil industry?
Okay. So let me take this one because the first one is much longer. I didn't get all the idea. So I know you probably more interested in the palm oil industry. So to apply to the palm industry, I think we can start with we can start with talk about exchanging idea with some government agency. Okay, because the common source for the big data is the government data. Okay, we can see what kind of administrative data about the palm oil industry can be released. Okay, from the agency or government. Then we can use the crop outsourcing idea. Okay, to open the data and probably call for some research proposal how to use the data because people from a different area, they probably have a different idea how to use the data. I think that will make the data value added a lot. Okay, so that's about the first step. So if we want to talk about the enterprise side about it, how to apply the ICT, I think probably can exchange idea with this kind of like a age waiter, the company my student running. So like first of all, the sustainable idea applied to the rice production not exactly can be copied into the palm oil industry. So we probably need to make that clear. So that will require a lot of discussion and exchange idea between the enterprise and the government. Okay, so I think that's probably the first two steps we can do to do the palm oil industry. So I personally I'm doing research with a bunch of data analysis, and I also involved in a lot of enterprise business running models. So yeah, so that would be interesting if I'm looking forward to future opportunity to apply this kind of experience in Taiwan to the palm oil industry in Malaysia. Yeah. Okay, that's a shorter question so far.
Okay, Prof, I'm going to read you another question. And meanwhile, you also can read the question. You can see the questions from the chat box. Okay, the next question is from Suraini. Prof, I have a question to ask. Should digitalization aim to reduce costs in the short term or preserve environmental resources in long term?
I didn't get it.
I'm going to repeat again, Prof. The question is from the chat box Webex.
Okay, I find it. Let me back to the first question. The first question is from Suramini, right? Okay, so he has about digitalization and to reduce costs in the short term or preserve environmental resource in the long term. Okay, this is pretty good question. Very, very good question. Very good question. So I think that will depend on the goal. Okay, so so right now, we probably need to think a little bit. What is the purpose to use the digitalization? Okay, so right now in the farm production, I think the one of the reasons to use digitalization is to try to reduce the risk. Okay, in the farm management. For example, that will help the farmer to use the fertilizer more in a more reasonable way. But I think I did not make it clear. Using the digitalization is not coming from free. It is not free. Okay, why we think free is because most of the promotion to digitalization is coming from the government. Okay, so one day if the government just back up, the digitalization, the cost have to be paid by the farmer. Okay, so digitalization actually reduce the cost in the short run. Probably right, but depending on who is paying the money to run the digitalization. Okay, or preserve environmental resource in the long run, which I believe that's right. I'm pretty positive to the second part. Okay, because you can see from the fertilizer the example. Okay, because of using digitalization, the farmer can avoid the fertilizer overuse. That's good for the environment. That's good for the environment. Okay, so that's a successful case. And for the second enterprise case I introduced, the rice house company actually do the counter farming, and they also do the organic farming. Organic farming definitely is the one thing for the environmental protection in the long run. Okay, so I think that right now in these days, environmental protection and the high value crop and the digitalization actually we basically talk about the same thing here. Okay, so I think that digitalization in the long run can be pretty helpful to the environment. Okay, okay. So okay, I also have a question like. It seems like the application of big data is more suitable for large-scale agriculture, commercial production company compared to small-scale farming. This is a very good question. You know what? To use a big data and the digitalization ICT thing, actually, actually it's not for all the farm, you know, especially small scale farm. So in Taiwan, we have a problem like for some family farm, for example, they just have a certain amount of acre. They try to do this kind of ICT, but the fixed cost to have this kind of IoT set up in the field is too high. It's too expensive for them. Okay, so yes, I think you're right. You're right. So actually, we also encounter another problem because a lot of technology was was designed by US or Europe. Their farming system is quite different from Asia. They have a big scale. They have a big area, right? So they have the fry. So they can use the fry and spread out the pesticides, that kind of thing. But in Asia, it's more hearing. The farmer is more hearing. Okay, the drone is not that smart to make a turn almost everywhere. So I think that will require some modification. Okay, so that's why I'm saying the ICT stuff or the digitalization require a lot of multidisciplinary collaboration. Okay, we have to design and modify by different application area. Okay, so that's something that we are doing right now. And for the small farmer, yes, you're right. You're right. Small farmer probably will be a little bit disadvantaged to enjoy the technology. But in Taiwan, we have a lot of farmer marketing group. Okay, the farmer marketing group just like the joint group for a lot of farmers in the same area. So they will have some more market power to do this kind of stuff. Okay, that's one way to solve the cost problem, to share the cost among all the farmers. Okay. But in general, I think you're right. You're right. ICT just like a big meal. Okay, not everyone can enjoy the meal. Okay, it's only the rich farmer have a more opportunity to take ICT. I think that's for sure. That's for sure. Okay. And let me see. Okay. So another question is why will be left for farmers to do when agriculture decides? Okay, good. One issue one issue I raised in the 2019 OECD Rural Development Conference. I just raised because everybody promoted ICT. Okay, and let me show you one example. Everybody promoted ICT, especially in the rural area. Okay, but on the other hand, another group in the other room, they talk about how to provide a job to the rural resident, and we know most of the rural residents are elderly farmer. Okay, so this question just conflict to each other. So the question is like I asked exactly the same question last year in 2019 in the OECD conference. I'm asking that if everybody promote the ICT and take people's job, then what kind of job left, especially in the rural area for residents? Okay, so that's I think that's the thing. To not only happen to farming, but also all the occupation. Okay, so who will lose the job first? That's another question, though. Okay, but I think in right now, what I think will be the most effective way is like the farmer must right now have a different idea, how to develop different skill or how to cooperate with this kind of digitalization. Okay, for example, like a machinery, they probably need to learn how to work with the machinery more than before. Okay, because ICT will come with the machinery. Okay, another example will be in the old days, most of farmers know anything about computer, but when ICT come into the new world, they probably have to learn how to use a computer. Okay, and stay with a computer. Okay, because I believe probably 10 years later or even sooner, the farmer probably don't need to visit the field. All they have to do is work with the computer. Okay, because if the monitoring things that perfect, you probably can get almost everything. Okay, from your field, just look at the computer. Okay, so that's why I think that's another thing. That's another thing. So farmers probably have to re-educate themselves, okay, to see how to cope with the whole world. Okay, so I'm sorry, I don't have a very satisfied answer, but because this question is really good and everybody is looking for the solution right now. Okay, and another question is the IoT technology require wireless? Yes. Still not the mutual. Oh, okay, good. Like I say in the beginning, very beginning, big data and the internet connection, I think that's more important things. Okay, it's a fundamental basis. It's a driving engine to promote the ICT. So if you have a data, so how the data can be collected is coming from the internet. So fortunately in Taiwan, we do have a very high coverage rate for the internet access. So we have a lot of area with a free Wi-Fi. So for this kind of area, you don't have free Wi-Fi or internet access. That will be a challenge. Okay, so that's why a lot of people look at the infrastructure. Okay, they think to promote ICT, you probably need to have a pretty strong infrastructure. Okay, because without that, it's kind of difficult to do this kind of thing. And another thing, you need to have not only internet access, but also the high speed for the internet. Okay, because a lot of information need to be updated minute by minute, point by point. So you have to have the internet with a pretty fast speed. Okay. Yeah, infrastructure actually should be managed and scheduled by the government. Okay, by the government, especially in the rural area. Okay, you're right. Okay. Okay, I also have another question saying that what are the challenges faced by business community in the regeneration program, like the sustainability issue in the or palm oil industry? One of these is what are the challenges faced by the business community in the regeneration industry? I don't quite understand. I don't quite understand the question though. But let me see. Do we have do we have a Hassan here?
Yes, I'm here. I'm Hassan.
Oh, okay. So do you mind elaborate your question a little bit more?
Okay. You know, in the production of oil palm, we have got the sustainability issues like deforestation and about the chemicals used and affecting the local community, affecting the animal habitat and so on. And you have there about using the pesticide and affecting the children.
Yes.
So that's part of the problem. What else do you have? Thank you. Is it all right?
Okay. I think economic development and environmental protection is always difficult, to concise together. So let me ask you one question first. I know you talk about deforestation and the pesticide use, but what is the most serious and important environmental issue for palm oil production?
Okay, in the RSPO is Roundtable Sustainable Palm Oil certification. We have 4 about the deforestation, about workers, about killing of animal habitat, and the social dislocation, about the orangutan. I don't know whether you have that kind of problem in Taiwan. And the other one is about this pesticide, about this problem.
Right.
You already have one there. What else do you have? Is there any? If you don't have, it's all right.
No. We have we have all the problems. Okay. We have a lot of environmental problem with the farm production, just like you say, deforestation. And for the deforestation, we do the zoning planning. Okay, we reconsider the farm zoning. Okay, so we will make we just have the rezoning program 2 years ago. Okay, because we try to protect the forestation area. And we also have a lot of groundwater pollution problem. Okay, that's not from the palm oil. It's not the same, but it's kind of similar because rice production, require a lot of fertilizer use. Okay, so the use of fertilizer will pollute groundwater. Okay, so that's the very serious issue. So I can share you one example the ICT team is doing right now. Because like I said, if you have IoT in your field, you can have a better monitor situation. Okay, so that will come with the that will help you to avoid the overuse of fertilizer. Okay, so that will also reduce the groundwater pollution problem. Okay, so that's the one. Right now, when everybody talk about digitalization in farming, everybody talk about the how to increase the production amount and how to reduce the farming cost. But no one talk about what is a consequence of digitalization on environment. Okay, I think that might be good or might be bad, but my own opinions is like using the digitalization can help to do the environmental sustainability. Okay, just like to avoid the overuse of fertilizer is a good example, and to reduce the groundwater use, pollution is another example. Okay.
Thank you, Prof.
Yeah, thank you. Let me see. Okay, I have another question related to the older pension. Okay, have any finding regarding correlation between already person joined after this? Between FHI program versus age of joining. Oh, okay, I got it. Yeah. Thank you for asking this question. I'm glad I have the opportunity to share more about the finding that the government have been done. So because I don't have time when I present the stuff, but right now I have. So as I say in my paper, I find that the pension program delayed the farm succession. Okay, so part of the reason is like because the older farmer, they try to continue to receive the pension. Okay, so they have to be identified as a farmer again and again and again. Okay, so the easier way to just keep the land on hand. Okay, so later on, the government have some policy reform. You know what they do? They try to separate the ownership and the user right. Okay, so it's like they just start the program, try to match the elderly farmer, try to rent out their land to the young generation. Okay, so that's the one way to bring the young generation into farming, and the elderly farmer can also keep their land. Okay, so before, ownership and the usage right is combined together. Okay, but after my papers, the government have run another policy reform. They strongly encourage with the cash subsidy. They encourage the elderly farmer rent out their land to the young generation. Okay, the young generation can have the farmland to run the farm business, and on the other hand, the elderly farmers can still keep the ownership of the land. Okay, then they can keep the pension. Okay, so that's the revolution they have. So I think that will address a part of your question about the correlation. Okay, good. That's good. Okay, another question is there a benchmark globally to see which country use a big data for policy making also are effective in scope? I think it's almost everywhere right now. I think it's frankly speaking, I think it's almost everywhere right now. But I want to share one of the comments I have. I think Taiwan is running on the top. Okay, because as you can see, we have a lot of data open to the public. Okay, and this kind of data is especially unique. Okay, and that depends on government attitude toward the data. So I think yes, the answer is yes. a lot of country have a use of big data to make a policy analysis. Okay, Taiwan is one of them. Okay, but for the agriculture, I think that Taiwan is around in the very top of the list. Okay, just like yeah, I like the way I introduced to you. We have 8 different categories and over 1,300 items. Okay, so yeah, so like the US and the Europe, they also have a lot of data. Okay, good. Okay, I have another question about my second paper. If the competitiveness about the market participant in 7-Eleven is very, very high, okay, what is the likeliness of new entry? Okay. So this question is saying that, if the 7-Eleven dominates the market already, so how about the new entry into the stable market? The answer is no. We almost have no room for the new brand into the convenience store industry right now in Taiwan. Okay, because actually it's a major 2 player. They account for almost 80% of the market share. In this kind of situation, there's no room for other new brand enter the market. Okay, so yeah, so this is a good question, but we have a quick answer. The answer is no. It's a reality. There's no new brand coming in Taiwan right now. Okay, because Hassan, go ahead.
Yeah, just say thank you, because actually I saw 7-Eleven when I was in Taiwan a long time ago. That's why it's in my mind. Thank you.
Okay, so you like a 7-Eleven in Taiwan?
Yeah, it was on the way to Kaohsiung, port of Kaohsiung. I saw, and suddenly you mentioned 7-Eleven, so it struck my mind to tell.
Okay. Next time when you have a chance to visit Taiwan, give me a call. I will buy you a coffee from 7-Eleven.
Wow, thank you.
Okay. Okay, I have another question. Is in domain of agricultural data, can you explain more regarding the algorithm? Wow, that we may take and turn the parameter. In reality, we will not getting the clean data. Wow, this is a pretty deep question though. I have been working on the data for long enough time. Okay, because I'm an empirical economist, so I work on the large amount of data before the term big data come in. So my personal experience were like what we call the clean data, depend on what we want to do. Okay, that's my experience. There's no so-called clean data, but they will be the perfect appropriate data for what you want to do. Okay, why I'm saying that, so for example, if we have a random data or random survey or some government data, whatever, but government just block some information, okay, for example, like income, because try to comply with the privacy law. Okay, so in this case, a lot of people will say, the data is contaminated. It's not good. But if you don't need the information about the income, the data is still good though. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. There's no clean data depending on what you want to do. And another example will be, most of the time, the government just cannot give you all the data. Okay, but they can give you some proportion of the data. So depend on your need. Like one paper, like the pension paper I introduced, I only select the people age window between 60 and 70. So if I don't have a data for other group, that's fine with me, totally fine with me. Okay, so I think that will my own experience. There's no certain algorithm to clean the best data, but that would depend on the judgment call by the researcher. Okay, that's why that's why we see tons of paper published, because everybody probably have a different need. Even though we look at the same research question, we probably will come up with a different answer. Okay, because our approach probably will not be exactly the same. Okay, good. Okay. Another question, probably this will be the last question I'm going to take, because time is up. Do you see using big data in agriculture as a second green revolution? How do you see Taiwan's experience in technology adoption in the first group generation system new technology now? And I don't think it is question for me though. It should be for our government office. Okay. But what I can share is like I don't know the big data, using the big data, or we talk about the digitalization in agriculture is a green revolution or not, because as I say, I generally believe using big data can helpful to the environment, but the answer is not the absolute answer. Probably depend on what we are looking at. But I know one thing. Using the digital technology in farm production is a trend, it's a future. What we can do as the farmer or researcher, we just have to adjust ourselves to this kind of trend. Okay, so resist ourselves to this kind of big data or ICT use. It's not a good way to solve the problem. Okay, so I think in the coming future, I was expecting more research to look at the impact of digitalization on environmental quality or other things. Okay, so right now we focus on the economic quality, income and production cost, but I'm looking for some new view or new research outcome to look at the impact of digitalization on environment. Okay, probably we can we can have the opportunity to work on this topic in the palm oil industry in Malaysia in the coming future. Okay, I think this will be the one thing still pretty silent. Okay, from the research area and the policy area. Okay. Yeah, I think I probably I probably take almost all the questions. Okay. Okay. Is there any
Prof? Okay. I think we have no more questions in the chat box. Okay. So I believe we have come to the end of the webinar. Thank you so much, Prof, for sharing sessions, and thank you all audience for your love of participating. But before we end this webinar, can we have a virtual photo session all together? Okay. Can please everybody please switch on your camera? We have a virtual photo session. Okay. Our technical crew will help us with the photo sessions. Okay. Then everybody get ready. I just counting, and our technical crew will get the snap photo. Okay. We start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or you can have these.
Mine.
Counting again. 6, 7, 8, 9, Thanks. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, thank you everybody participating in this session. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Prof.
Thank you again, Prof. The slides.
Thank you so
just to
much.
inform audience, the slides for the lecture are available, and you may download them from the website link as attached in the chat box. And also, behalf of MPOB-UKM community, we are delighted to invite you and your representatives to participate in the MPOB-UKM Virtual Forum entitled From Our Contributions Towards Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs 2013 on 25th October 2021. So kindly scan the QR code to register and confirm your seats. Okay, once again, thank again for joining us today, and we will see you again next time. Thank you, Prof, and thank you, everyone. Bye, and Assalamualaikum.